The galaxy was calm that day, trade lanes were open. Border fleets were relaxed. Human space was quiet. As usual. To most of the galaxy, humans were still newcomers. Clever, yes. Persistent, maybe. But dangerous, no. That belief shattered in a single moment. A deep space sensor station near a neutral star system detected something impossible. Not a fleet, not a carrier. One object, and it was massive. At first, the sensors assumed an error. The mass readings kept changing, jumping higher every second. The system recalibrated. Then recalibrated again. Still wrong. The object exited hyperspace without the usual flash. No dramatic burst of light. It simply appeared. Like space had decided to give up and let it through. The station sent an automatic alert. Unknown vessel detected. Nearby alien patrol ships turned their scanners toward it. The first images came in. Silence filled the command decks. The ship was not elegant. It was not smooth or curved. It looked heavy. Layers of armor covered its hull. Massive weapon housings lined its surface, dormant but unmistakable. Heat signatures showed systems online across the entire structure, and the design was unmistakable. This is human, an officer whispered. Laughter followed. That's impossible, another said. Humans don't build ships like this. The ship did not transmit a greeting. It did not request clearance. It did not move. It just stayed there, watching more ships arrive. Then more. Word spread fast. A human vessel of this size had never been seen before. Commanders pulled up old data on human shipyards. Nothing matched. No construction records. No energy spikes. No warning signs. It was as if the ship had appeared from nowhere. That's not a cruiser, one admiral said slowly. That's a statement. The ship powered up a single external system. Not weapons. Not shields. A beacon dot. Simple, clean. Human. This is the United Terran Command, the message said. No hostile action is intended. That should have been reassuring. It wasn't. Because behind those words was something far more frightening: confidence. The galaxy had seen threats before, loud ones, aggressive ones, desperate ones. This was none of those. This was quiet certainty. Alien fleets repositioned nervously. Weapons charged, then hesitated. No one wanted to be the first to fire. Because if this was what humans chose to show, what else were they hiding? Inside the ship, human officers stood calmly at their stations. No celebration, no speeches. Just focus. They had trained for this moment for years. The ship's name was classified. Its purpose was not. It was not built to conquer territory. It was not built to hunt enemies. It was built so that no one would ever underestimate humans again. A nearby moon drifted in the background, cracked and lifeless. The Star Destroyer adjusted position slightly, not aggressively, deliberately, alien. Scanners suddenly struggled to lock onto the ship's full outline. The mass readings stabilized at a number that made no sense. One commander swallowed. If that thing turns its weapons on, he said quietly, there's nothing here that can stop it. The ship remained silent. That silence pressed harder than any threat. A single thought spread through the galaxy's military networks. Humans did not rush into this moment. They prepared. And this was only the beginning. The first human Star Destroyer had arrived, and nothing would ever be the same again. The galaxy believed the Star Destroyer appeared suddenly. Humans knew better. This ship was not built in response to one threat. It was built because of many small ones. For decades, humans had tried to join the galaxy peacefully. They signed trade agreements. They shared technology. They respected borders. And still, they were pushed. Human colonies on the edge of known space were raided. Not destroyed, just tested. Pirate groups attacked supply lines. Small alien powers demanded protection. Fees. Every time, humans protested. Every time, they were told the same thing. You are too new. You are too weak. You should be grateful we tolerate you. The galaxy did not hate humans, it simply did not respect them. Human leaders met again and again. Some wanted stronger fleets. Others wanted better diplomacy. But one problem remained. No matter how many ships humans built, they were still seen as replaceable. Then came the incident that changed everything. A human medical convoy was stopped near a neutral system. No warning, no reason. The convoy transmitted distress calls for 6 minutes. No one answered. By the time a response arrived, the ships were gone. Not destroyed, taken. That silence hit harder than any explosion. Inside a secure council chamber on Earth, leaders watched the recordings. Doctors pleading. Pilots refusing to abandon patients. No weapons fired. No rescue arrived. That night, the argument ended. Humans did not need more ships. They needed one ship that could not be ignored. The idea was simple, terrifyingly simple. Build something so clear, one engineer said, that no one ever questions whether we matter. The project was secret. Not because humans feared discovery, but because they wanted no interference. Shipyards were built far from trade routes. Resources were redirected quietly. Engineers from rival nations worked side by side. Politics disappeared. Survival did that. The design rejected elegance, rejected speed, rejected tradition. Every choice asked one question. What happens if we are attacked first? Armor was layered until the ship could endure sustained bombardment. Shields were designed not to fail suddenly, but to weaken slowly. Weapons were not optimized for destruction. They were optimized for control. Disable, not erase. Stop, not slaughter. That choice was deliberate. Humans remembered their own history too well. The Star Destroyer was not meant to turn humans into monsters. It was meant to make monsters think twice. As construction progressed, simulations were run, thousands of them. In most scenarios, the ship never fired. Its presence alone changed outcomes. Enemies hesitated, allies negotiated. Conflicts escalated. That result scared some people. If we build this, a politician warned, we will change how the galaxy sees us forever. The answer came back quickly. They already see us, an admiral replied. They just don't. Listen. The final vote was unanimous. Not because everyone agreed, but because everyone understood the cost of doing nothing. The ship was completed in silence. No launch ceremony. No public announcement. It waited, and when it finally moved, it did not head toward an enemy world. It went to a neutral system, a place where everyone would see it, not as a threat, as a fact. Inside the ship, the crew knew the truth. If this failed, humans would be feared. If it succeeded, humans would be respected. There was no third option. As the Star Destroyer held position in space, its systems humming quietly, one officer summed it up best. We didn't build this because we wanted power, she said. We built it because we were tired of being ignored. Far away, alien commanders stared at the silent ship. They were only just beginning to understand. The galaxy did not believe in silence. Silence meant weakness. Silence meant hesitation. Silence meant a bluff. And the human Star Destroyer was very silent. For 3 full cycles, it remained in the neutral system. It did not move closer to anyone's borders. It did not escort convoys. It did not speak again. That made the galaxy nervous. Alien commanders argued across encrypted channels. "It's too big," one said. "No ship can operate like that alone." "It must be a shell," another replied, a showpiece. Someone finally asked the dangerous question. "What happens if we test it?" The first test was small. A scout wing entered the system, keeping weapons cold. They circled the Star Destroyer at a distance, scanning aggressively. The human ship did nothing. The scouts transmitted their data back. Armor density was extreme. Energy output was stable. Weapon ports were sealed. "It's real," the scout commander admitted. "But it's not reacting." That only encouraged the next step. A larger fleet arrived. Still no weapons fired. Still no official hostility. Just presence. The fleet commander opened a channel. "Human vessel," he said, forcing calm into his voice. "You are in violation of shared space accords." No response. The Star Destroyer rotated slightly. Not toward the fleet. Toward a dead moon fragment. Drifting nearby, alien sensors locked onto the movement instantly. "What is it doing?" someone asked. Inside the Star Destroyer, human officers did not raise their voices. No alarms sounded. No urgency filled the bridge. This moment had been rehearsed. The ship powered a single weapon system. Not its largest, not its fastest, just one. The fleet commander scoffed. "A demonstration," he muttered. "They won't dare." The weapon fired. No beam, no explosion. The fragment simply ceased to exist. One moment, it was there. The next, it wasn't. Sensors screamed. Matter had been separated cleanly at the atomic level. No shockwave. No debris field. Just absence. The fleet froze. "That wasn't a weapon," an officer whispered. "That was precision." The Star Destroyer did not follow up. It did not advance. It powered the weapon down. The message was clear. This was restraint. The fleet commander swallowed and opened a private channel to his superiors. "It's not a bluff," he said. "And it's not afraid." The galaxy reacted quickly. Borders tightened. Treaties were reviewed. Old enemies paused their conflicts. Still, not everyone believed. A coalition formed quietly. Several powers agreed on one thing. If humans had built one ship like this, they might build more. Better to strike early. The coalition fleet gathered far from human space. Dozens of ships. Heavy weapons charged. No messages sent. They jumped into the neutral system without warning. The Star Destroyer detected them immediately. Inside the human bridge, a single alert chimed. Multiple hostile vessels entering range. The captain nodded once. "Hold position." Alien. Weapons charged. The Star Destroyer raised its shields. The first volley hit. The shields held. The second volley hit harder. The shields dimmed slightly. Inside the coalition fleet, confidence surged. "It bleeds energy." Someone shouted. They fired again and again. Then the Star Destroyer moved, not forward between the fleet and a nearby Raphilian trade route. Alien weapons struck the ship's side. The shields held. Then the Star Destroyer responded. Not with destruction, with control.energy pulses disabled engines across the Coalition fleet. Weapon systems went dark. Ships drifted helplessly. No explosions. No casualties. Just silence. The human ship transmitted a single message. We did not build this to attack. A pause. We built it so we wouldn't have to. The Coalition fleet could not move, could not fire, could not escape. And the Star Destroyer simply waited. That was when the galaxy finally understood. This ship was not designed to win battles. It was designed to end them. The galaxy reacted the wrong way. The Coalition fleet returned home powerless and humiliated. Their ships had not been destroyed. Their crews were alive. But the message they carried spread faster than truth ever could. Humans can shut down fleets, the rumors said. Humans can paralyze entire systems. They could have wiped us out. Fear filled the gaps that facts did not dot in council chambers across the galaxy. Voices grew sharp. Old rivals forgot their differences. New alliances formed overnight. Not against pirates, not against raiders, against humans. The Star Destroyer had proven its strength, but not its intent. That silence became dangerous. Analysts replayed sensor data. They saw a ship that absorbed fire. A ship that disabled dozens of vessels in seconds. A ship that chose restraint, but could choose otherwise. One counselor stood and spoke the thought everyone feared. What if restraint is temporary? That single question changed everything. Human diplomats were suddenly ignored. Trade convoys were delayed. Patrols followed human ships more closely. Border incidents increased, not with shots, but with pressure. The Star Destroyer remained in the neutral system, exactly where it had arrived. And that made things worse. It's a threat just sitting there, some argued. They're waiting, others said. Waiting for what? Inside the Star Destroyer, the crew felt the shift. Sensor traffic spiked. Encrypted chatter increased. Fleet movements aligned in patterns humans recognized from their own history. Preparation. The captain called a briefing. They think we're an invasion force, she said calmly. And if they believe that long enough, belief will become action. A junior officer hesitated. Should we move? He asked. Show them we're not? No. The captain said. That would confirm their fear. On a distant council world, a resolution passed narrowly. Humans were to be classified as a potential, destabilizing force. Not an enemy, not yet, but close enough. A joint fleet was authorized to monitor. The Star Destroyer? Monitor meant surround. When the fleet arrived, it did not fire. It took positions at every vector. Weapons hot. Shields raised. The Star Destroyer was now enclosed. Inside the human ship, alarms chimed softly. Not warnings, notifications. The captain watched the tactical display. They've trapped themselves, she said. Should we respond? An officer asked. The captain shook her head. Not yet. Minutes passed. Then, an accident happened. A nervous alien cruiser misfired. A targeting pulse. No damage. No hit. Just a brief flash of energy that struck the Star Destroyer's shields. The shields absorbed it. But the galaxy saw something else. They saw contact. Panic spread instantly. Humans are under attack. They'll retaliate. This is it. Weapons across the surrounding fleets charged automatically. Inside the Star Destroyer, the bridge went silent. This was the moment the simulations had warned about. One misunderstanding, one reflex. 1. Wrong move. Human command had a choice. Fire back and confirm every fear, or hold. The captain opened a channel. Her voice was steady. We are not hostile, she said. You are misreading our presence. No response came. The surrounding fleets hesitated. Weapons locked. Power levels rising. Time stretched thin. Then the Star Destroyer did something no one expected. It lowered its shields. Gasps rippled through alien bridges. The human ship stood exposed. No weapons fired. No movement. Just vulnerability. The message was clear. If you fire now, it will be on you. Seconds passed. Then a voice came through, shaking, uncertain. We do not wish war. The Star Destroyer raised its shields again. Slowly, carefully. The misunderstanding did not end that day, but war did not begin either. And the galaxy realized something unsettling. Humans were not trying to dominate. They were trying to be understood, and fear was the only thing standing in the way. The silence after the shields rose again was heavier than any battle. Across the surrounding alien fleets, commanders waited for orders that did not come. Weapons were charged. Targeting systems stayed locked on the Star Destroyer's massive hull. One mistake now would end everything. Inside the Star Destroyer, the bridge crew stood motionless. No one spoke. Every officer understood the truth. This was the moment the ship was built for. Not combat. Choice, human. Command received dozens of incoming signals. Warnings, threats, requests to stand down, demands to withdraw. The captain ignored them all. She knew words would fail here. Across the galaxy, council members argued fiercely. They lowered their shields, one said. That proves nothing. It proves restraint, another replied. No species exposes itself unless it means peace. Fear answered faster than reason. If we let them stay, a hardliner warned, we may never control them. That word echoed. Control. Humans had heard it before. On the Star Destroyer, a tactical officer leaned closer to the captain. If they fight together, he said quietly, we will survive. But many of them won't. The captain nodded. And then we become exactly what they fear. Time moved slowly. Then something unexpected happened. A single alien ship powered down its weapons. Just one. Its commander opened a narrow channel. We misjudged you, he said. You could have destroyed us. You didn't. Other ships hesitated. Another powered down, then another. The chain reaction spread not fast. But visibly, fear loosened its grip. The Star Destroyer responded. Not with weapons. With movement, it rotated slightly, angling its hull away from the surrounding fleets. A subtle change, but unmistakable. It was no longer positioned for defense. It was positioned to leave. Gasps rippled across alien bridges. They're withdrawing. Someone whispered. The captain transmitted one final message, broadcast openly. This ship was built so that humans would not have to beg for safety, she said. It was not built to rule you. A pause. We are leaving this system. The engines powered up, not to jump immediately, but slowly. Deliberately, giving everyone time to stop them if they chose. No one did. The surrounding fleets opened a corridor. No weapons fired. No final warnings. Just space, as the Star Destroyer aligned for hyperspace. The captain allowed herself one breath. The galaxy had made its choice. Not trust, not fear, caution. That was enough. The ship jumped down its wake. The neutral system felt strangely empty. Alien commanders stared at their displays. The most powerful ship they had ever seen had left without demanding anything. That unsettled them more than a threat ever could. Back on Earth, human leaders watched the reports in silence. The Star Destroyer had not forced peace, it had offered it, and the galaxy had accepted without words. A new rule had been written, not in law, but in memory. Humans would not be pushed quietly again, and if they returned, it would not be as a warning, it would be as a decision. The galaxy did not celebrate after the Star Destroyer left. It reflected in council halls and command centers. Recordings were replayed again and again, not of the weapon demonstration, not of the disabled fleets. They studied the moment the human ship turned away. That choice disturbed them more than its firepower. A senior counselor finally spoke what many had begun to feel. They did not come to conquer, she said. They came to draw a line. That line changed everything. Before the Star Destroyer, humans were considered manageable, useful, replaceable, a species that could be pressured until it complied. After the Star Destroyer, that belief died quietly. Trade routes shifted. Negotiations slowed but became honest. Border patrols stopped testing human space. Not because of fear, because of understanding humanity had shown restraint with absolute power in hand. That combination was rare. Historians began writing a new chapter. The Star Destroyer was not humanity's strongest weapon. It was its strongest argument. Back on Earth, the ship did not return in triumph. There were no parades, no speeches. The crew resumed training as if nothing extraordinary had happened, because to them, the mission was unfinished. The Star Destroyer took position far from major systems, staying visible but distant. It did not. Petrovi did not chase threats, it existed. A constant reminder. Alien engineers studied its design. They could not copy it. Not because of missing technology, but because of mind's missing mindset. The ship was built with a paradox at its core. Overwhelming strength. Designed for restraint. That frightened the galaxy more than aggression ever could. Years passed. Conflicts still happened, but they ended sooner. Smaller powers hesitated before acting. Empires reconsidered old habits. And every time tension rose, someone asked the same question. Will the humans respond? The answer was almost always the same. No. And that was the point. The Star Destroyer had taught the galaxy something uncomfortable. Humans did not rush to war, they prepared for it. That preparation made war unnecessary. A final report from a distant council summarized it best. Humans are not dangerous because they seek dominance. It read, they are dangerous because they choose when not to use it. The Star Destroyer remained silent in the dark. Its weapons stayed powered down. Its shields stayed active. Its presence stayed known. A boundary, not a threat. When asked why humanity built such a ship, a human diplomat gave the simplest answer. We wanted peace, he said. But peace only works when everyone knows the cost of breaking it. The galaxy accepted that truth. The first human Star Destroyer did not start a war. It ended a way of thinking, and from that day forward, the stars grew quieter around human space. Not from fear, from respect.